Hello and happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Friday SEO Tip. I'm Jonn Patrick Chua, Marketing Manager here at Boulder SEO Marketing. And if you're struggling to generate leads and sales from your organic search efforts, this tip is for you because we share tactics that you can implement immediately so that you can get more leads and sales from your organic search optimization efforts. Now, have you ever wondered how a single video can put your business in front of people on YouTube, Google, AI overviews, LinkedIn, and email all at the same time? That's exactly what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to be walking you through 5 phase workflow we use at Boulder SEO Marketing to produce a Friday SEO tip every single week. And in today's episode, here's what we're going to cover. Every week, we publish a Friday SEO tip. One recording becomes a YouTube video, a LinkedIn newsletter article, an email newsletter, social media posts across LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and Facebook, plus a Google Business Profile post. So that's 7 published assets from one piece of source material, and all are generated from a single workflow. Now, we've built this workflow to actually do 2 things. First is to get cited in Google AI overviews, which is now where a huge percentage of search traffic is being intercepted. So, second is to get our content onto every platform our audience actually use. Now, I'll walk you through all 5 phases with the actual tools and screens we use. So, the payoff is a piece of content that compounds across every platform that we care about. Let's get started with phase one. Phase one is the recording itself. So the recording is done by a BSM subject matter expert. This week, it might be Chris. Next week, it might be Daniel, Greg, or Barb. Although the presenter changes, the format stays consistent. So we use Riverside because the audio and video quality is studio grade and the transcript is downloadable in just seconds. Imagine how fast is that. So once the recording is available, I then go to the editor. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So let's go to Riverside, and editing is where we put in layouts, clear out any filler words, any unnecessary pauses and ums, and also enhance the audio so that the video and audio would look good. Now, we enhance the audio by selecting the magic audio here. And once it's applied, you would be surprised that the audio is enhanced dramatically. And on this side, this is where I remove all of the unnecessary ums, all of the unnecessary fillers. So once the video is clean, as well as the audio, I then download the transcript here in the 3 dots. So just click on the 3 dots, then download the script. So that transcript that we just downloaded is going to be the input for phase two. So phase two is where the workflow gets interesting. So we built a custom Claude skill specifically for Friday SEO to production. Let's go to Claude and upload the transcript that we have just downloaded from Riverside. So this is it. And the skill can be triggered in one command, such as let's create a Friday SEO tip. And in our workflow, we like to anchor links across the newsletters. So I'm going to paste the links here, hit enter. All right. And while waiting, for those of you who don't know what Claude Skill is, so Claude Skill is essentially a reusable instruction set. It tells Claude exactly how to process the transcript, what voice to use, what brand rules to follow, and what 12 deliverables to produce. Now, it knows the BSM's brand voice, the keywords we want anchored, and the URLs we link to internally. And of course, the format every output needs to follow. Now, this takes a few minutes, and for the sake of this step, I have prepared something in advance. So let's take a look at what came out on the other end. So this is what it looks like, and this is where phase three is going to come in. Phase three is the actual output. 12 deliverables all generated in one pass. As you can see, it generated meta title options, meta description options, LinkedIn newsletter title options. And the reason why we do have these options is for us to pick the strongest ones, and for us to avoid rerunning the Claude at a different angle. Now, it also created a social media post, a Blue Sky post, the actual LinkedIn newsletter, an email newsletter, a YouTube description that has timestamps and YouTube tags, a one paragraph summary that we can use for email blasts, Notebook LM visual prompt, and Gemini image prompt. So we need to have a editable version of this. So what's good thing about that is you can ask Claude to create a downloadable Word document, and this is what it looks like. And again, I've prepared something in advance. So this is what it looks like. And see, upon reviewing it, it anchored the links that we have included. Google Search Console, finding right local keywords. All right. And once you have this, we can now move on to phase 4. So phase 4 is going to be the visual layer. So two assets gets generated here. The LinkedIn cover image and the inline images we use throughout the newsletter content. First, I'm going to be working on the Gemini prompt. So I copy the Gemini prompt that the skill had generated. I copy it and then I go to Gemini, paste it, and it takes a few minutes. And while we are waiting for that, let's work on the Notebook LM. So on the Notebook LM, we need a resource. So in my case, I would need a visual for the actual newsletter content. I copy the whole LinkedIn newsletter content. Okay. Copy. And then select the copied text here first as a source. Other than copied text, you can also upload files. You can use URLs as a resource and files that you can upload from your Google Drive. So in my case, I use copied text. So I'll select that, paste it in there. So you have the source now. Now, once that resource is uploaded, I go to slide deck here at the right side. And then I copy the Notebook LM visual prompt that the skill had generated. Copy and then paste it in here and then generate. So this also takes a few minutes. And again, I prepared something in advance and I've already downloaded and selected those images and added it onto the actual newsletter content. And here is the result. So this is the Gemini generated image for the LinkedIn cover image. And here are the Notebook LM generated visuals. So I've selected 3 or 4 and it looks nice. So once that is done, we review every output for the link anchoring, brand term accuracy, and any spots where the content could be strengthened with an internal link to a BSM resource. Now, lastly, phase 5. So phase 5 is the final read through and the multi-platform push. We do a final review of the content package before anything goes live, so that we can catch anything that we may have missed. The distribution channels would be YouTube for video, go high level for postings for Google business profiles, email campaigns using that one paragraph summary, and other social media post automation, as well as LinkedIn newsletter article. So that's the full workflow. 5 phases from recording to the publishing content across every platform we care about. Now, here's why we built it this way. AI overviews are now intercepting a meaningful chunk of organic search traffic. So getting cited in an AI overview is no longer optional. It's the new ranking signal. The way you get cited is by producing thorough, well-structured, multi-format content that lives in YouTube, on your website, on LinkedIn, on Google Business Profiles, and in email. So before I wrap things up, let's recap the workflow. Phase 1, record in Riverside, edit for natural cadence, then download the script. Phase 2, trigger the Claude skill with the transcript. And then phase 3, receive 12 deliverables in a single pass. Phase 4, generate the cover image with Gemini and generate the slide deck for the inline images with Notebook LM. And then lastly, phase 5, the final review. Then publish across YouTube, Go High Level, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and email. So the output, is a YouTube video that ranks, an article that gets cited in AI overviews, and a content package that hits every platform our audience uses. So if you run a marketing team, or you're a subject matter expert who wants to start producing weekly content that actually compounds, this is the workflow that you can save and replicate. Now, you can subscribe to our Friday SEO tip. I'll drop the link below in the description box. New tip every week. As always, stay safe and healthy, and we'll catch you later. Bye.